Good evening and welcome to the State of Business on our television. I'm Chamot Fernando. Let's have a look at the headlines. President pledged assistance to the development of education. Hambantota International Airport launches duty-free shopping complex. President Ranil Wickremesinghe pledged willingness to assist the Colombo University in its development contingent on the presentation of a 10-year development plan that aligns with the changing times. The President expressed this to the Alumni Association of Colombo University at an event held to commemorate its 40th anniversary in Colombo recently.
Then let's look at how this university can be developed to a higher standard. How are we going to do this? It's partly the responsibility of the academia, other is the responsibility of the alumni. Why shouldn't we get together and prepare a 10-year plan for the development of the University of Colombo? But if there's a plan, then there will certainly be the help to develop it. How are we going to tackle some of the questions? What about our postgraduate studies? These are all issues that we have to address. And I feel the alumni should take the initiative, talk with the university, and establish a committee which could prepare a report on the Colombo University in the next 10 years. Now, we are going through a knowledge revolution. We are going through a time when the whole system of teaching is changing. The technology that have brought us, COVID has seen online education. On the other hand, what will be the impact of artificial intelligence in this process? Do you even need exams? That's a question that we have to think and we have to find the answer. So I would suggest that the Alumni Association should do this.
Foreign Minister Ali Sabri pledged commitment to the strengthening the engagement in all spheres of the bilateral relationship with the Kingdom of Sweden. The minister said this during a discussion with the Swedish Foreign Minister Tobias Billström in Stockholm recently. The two ministers agreed to suitably commemorate the 75th anniversary of the diplomatic relationship between the two nations, which were established in 1949. Minister Sabri and Billström discussed all areas which straddle the long-standing engagement on the political, economic and the development spheres. The two ministers placed strong emphasis on economic cooperation between the two countries and agreed to work together in several areas including investment, trade, IT, climate and environment. Foreign Minister Sabri briefed his Swedish counterpart on the trajectory of the economic recovery following the extended fund facility with the IMF. Discussions on the economic relations focused on improving trade, diversifying production bases for the Swedish supply chain, and further enhancing business linkages in the IT sector. Also, economic relations on the manufacturing, tourism, and investment considering Sri Lanka's strategic location and the emergence of the Colombo port city were discussed. The Sri Lankan minister also briefed the Swedish side on the progress made in the reconciliation process, the significant steps taken on judicial and legislative reform, release of land, the importance of economic advancement and livelihood sustenance were also discussed at length. The Hambantota International Port launched its first duty-free complex with the aim to grow the duty-free business in catering to the vessels calling the port. During the weekend, 2 duty-free shops were opened at the brand new shopping complex. The port's duty-free complex, which is housed under the International Commercial Center, will provide integrated support to all the port's business platforms. The duty-free shop operators will be an essential value addition to overseas passengers and crews, as Hambantota expects more passengers and cruise vessels. The port is rapidly progressing in the development of the port services such as the industrial park, marine services, energy hub and integrated logistics. Improved port services will automatically increase tourist and investor footfall and require more end-to-end services to be offered. Chairman of China Merchants Group Miao Jamin, who was on an official visit to Sri Lanka recently, also toured the Hambantota International Airport duty-free complex. The two companies that run the operations are well established in the duty-free industry within the country. Their operations have extended to various ports in the country as well as international markets with their presence in the Maldives. It was announced that they will also expand its product range at the duty-free shop at Hambantota International Airport. Stay tuned, we will return after this commercial break. Welcome back. President Ranil Wickremesinghe announced that a cabinet subcommittee and a new agency will be appointed to implement plans for the development of the Western Province. The president made this announcement during a meeting held at the Presidential Secretariat on 14th of May. The president stressed the need for the comprehensive development in the Western Province through a formal city development plan, stating that informal development could become uncontrollable. It was emphasized that the Western Province contributes about 50% to the country's economy, making its development crucial. President Wickremesinghe instructed officials to present the development plan for the Eastern Province to the cabinet as well. The president further said the plan presented by the Serbana Jurong Company in Singapore in 2004 was never implemented. The president urged officials to discuss the revised plan proposed by the company in 2015 and come to an urgent discussion on the basic development plan. He also informed the officials to make further amendments to the plan if necessary. The president was presented with the main development plan proposed to be implemented in the Western Province through the Urban Development Authority. Government officials also discussed the release of land and land acquisition for the implementation of development works. Parliamentarian Patli Champika Ranamaka says that the debate on the new Central Bank Act 2023, which was due for last Thursday, was not taken place in Parliament, not because of any other reason, but the government did not want to be implemented as it planned. Parliamentarian Ranawaka made these comments addressing the Parliament last Friday.
මේ විදියට හැමදාම මොකද කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුව පාවිච්චි කරලා ණය ගැනීමේ සීමාව ඒ වගේම අයවැය පරතරයේ සීමාව මේවා අපි එහාට දාගෙන ගිහිල්ලා තමයි මේ බංකොලොත් භාවයේ මාවතට රට වැටුනේ. අපේ ණය බර 1 ට්‍රිලියන් බිලියන 1000ක් කියන්නේ දලදේශීය නිෂ්පාදනයේ 104කට වඩා වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක්. අතිවිශාල ප්‍රමාණයක්. අපේ ආදායම අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වුණේ බිලියන් 3500යි. 1000ක් තවත් බිල්පත් වලින් ගන්න යනවා කියන්නේ හරියටම අපේ ආදායමෙන් තව 3න් 1කට වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් ගන්නයි යන්නේ. ඒක නිසා මේ සිදුවෙමින් තියෙන්නේ මොකද්ද? පරණ පාරට නැවත වැටීම පමණයි. වෙතර වාද විවාද කළා IMF යෝජනාවලිය ගැන. ඒ යෝජනාවලටත් මේක පටහැනි. ඉතාම වැදගත් විදිහට කියනවා නම් ඊයේ අනුමත කරන්න තිබුණා ශ්‍රී ලංකා මහ බැංකු පනත. ඒ මහ බැංකු පනත අනුමත කළා නම් මෙවැනි දෙයක් කරන්න බෑ. මොකද මේ භාණ්ඩාගාර බිල්පත් හරහා මහ බැංකුවට ණය ගැනීම අහෝසි කිරීම එක පියවරක් ඒ මහ බැංකු පනතේ. ඒ අනුව මේ මහ බැංකු පනත ඊයේ විවාදයට නොගත්තේ එක්ස්ප්‍රස් පර්ල් නැව හින්දා නෙවෙයි. එහෙම නැත්නම් විපක්ෂයේ ඉල්ලීමක් හින්දා නෙවෙයි. ගත්තෙම මෙන්න මේ පනත අනුමත කළා නම් මේක ගෙනල්ලා මේ බිලියන 1000කින් අපේ ණය සීමාව වැඩි කරන්න නොහැක නිසා.
Minister of Ports and Aviation Nimosiri Pala de Silva emphasized that Sri Lanka, being positioned in the center of Indian Ocean, is prepared to shoulder an important task to achieve its collective objectives. The minister said this representing Sri Lanka at the 6th Annual Indian Ocean Conference held in Bangladesh over the past weekend. The minister said the conference presented a unique opportunity for all regional stakeholders to collaborate and discuss on challenges and opportunities of the region. He added that continuing of peace, prosperity and collaboration is the core requirement in the region's partnership. The ministry highlighted that the region possesses a huge potential for economic progress that claims for a greater portion of global trade. The ports minister also pointed out that the Indian Ocean was an essential region for international trade and that it was imperative to ensure that the Indian Ocean remained a stable and prosperous region. He further added all regional states should commit themselves to perform a responsible and dedicated task to ensure the right of all regional economics. He mentioned that the ocean's abundant resources can sustainably and equitably benefit all nations of the region, and it is vital to ensure the sustainable use of the ocean. The minister said that the Sri Lankan government has proposed to establish an international university on climate change in Sri Lanka. The university is expected to effectively contribute towards mitigating efforts on the fight against global climate change and its adverse effects. He requested support and assistance of regional stakeholders to make this vision a reality. Stay tuned for the stock update. Welcome back. Stocks trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on negative notes today. The all share price index dropped 21.54 points to close at 8,906.20, and the S&P ASX 20 dropped 18.53 points to close at 2,569.37. The turnover was 0.6 billion rupees and over 42 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and